Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you love history, documentaries, and untold stories from around the world, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Today, the United States of America stands as one of the most powerful nations in human history. A country known for technology, military power, economic strength, Hollywood innovation, and global influence. But America did not begin as a rich or powerful nation. Its beginning was filled with uncertainty, suffering, fear, and survival. Before the giant cities, before the skyscrapers, before the modern world knew the name America, this land was wild, mysterious, and unknown to Europeans. The journey from isolated colonies to a global superpower is one of the most extraordinary transformations in history. This is the story of how America began. Long before Europeans arrived, millions of Native Americans lived across North America. These indigenous tribes had their own languages, beliefs, governments, and cultures. Some tribes were hunters, others were farmers, builders, and traders. Civilizations like the Cherokee, Apache, Sioux, Iroquois, and many others had existed for centuries. They understood the land deeply. Rivers were their highways, forests were their homes. Nature was sacred to them. Unlike the future industrial America, this land was untouched by factories and massive cities. Life was difficult but balanced with nature. For thousands of years, North America remained the home of indigenous people, but everything changed when ships from Europe crossed the Atlantic Ocean. In the late 15th century, European nations were searching for new trade routes, wealth, and power. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed west under the Spanish flag, hoping to reach Asia. Instead, his voyage opened the door to the Americas. Soon, Spain, France, Britain, and other European powers rushed to explore and claim new territories. To Europeans, the New World represented opportunity, wealth, and expansion. But survival in this unfamiliar land was far harder than expected. The Atlantic crossing itself was deadly. Storms destroyed ships. Disease spread quickly on board. Many travelers never reached land alive. Those who survived arrived in an environment they barely understood. Dense forests, brutal winters, unknown diseases, and limited food made life extremely dangerous. Yet despite the hardships, Europeans kept coming, because they believed this new land could change their future forever. In the late 15th century, European nations were searching for new trade routes, wealth, and power. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed west under the Spanish flag, hoping to reach Asia. Instead, his voyage opened the door to the Americas. Soon, Spain, France, Britain, and other European powers rushed to explore and claim new territories. To Europeans, the New World represented opportunity, wealth, and expansion. But survival in this unfamiliar land was far harder than expected. The Atlantic crossing itself was deadly. Storms destroyed ships. Disease spread quickly on board. Many travelers never reached land alive. Those who survived arrived in an environment they barely understood. Dense forests, brutal winters, unknown diseases, and limited food made life extremely dangerous. Yet despite the hardships, Europeans kept coming, because they believed this new land could change their future forever. In 1607, the English established Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement in North America. But Jamestown was far from successful in the beginning. Food shortages became common. Disease spread rapidly through the settlement. Many colonists were not prepared for farming or survival. Some settlers searched for gold instead of growing food. During harsh winters, starvation became so severe that many people died. Historians later called this period the starving time. Out of hundreds of settlers, only a small number survived. Yet somehow the colony endured. Tobacco farming later helped Jamestown grow economically and attracted more settlers from England. Over time, more colonies were established along the eastern coast. Families arrived searching for religious freedom, land, and opportunity. Slowly, the foundation of future America was being built. By the 1700s, the American colonies had grown larger and more economically successful. Trade expanded, cities developed, colonial society became stronger. But Britain still controlled the colonies. The British government imposed taxes and strict laws on the colonists. Many Americans believed they were being treated unfairly. One famous protest became a turning point in history. In 1773, angry colonists boarded British ships in Boston Harbor and dumped tea into the water. This event became known as the Boston Tea Party. It was more than a protest, it was a message. The colonies no longer wanted to be controlled by a distant empire. Tensions eventually exploded into war. In 1775, the American Revolutionary War began. Farmers, workers, merchants, and ordinary citizens joined together against the British Empire, the most powerful military force in the world at that time. Leading the Colonial Army was George Washington. The Americans were poorly equipped and often lacked food, weapons, and training. Winters during the war were devastating. Soldiers froze, starved, and suffered disease, yet they continued fighting because they believed freedom was worth the sacrifice. Against all odds, the colonies defeated Britain. In 1776, the Declaration of Independence announced the birth of a new nation, the United States of America. Independence did not instantly make America powerful. The new nation faced enormous challenges. The economy was weak. Political divisions threatened stability. Many people questioned whether the country could survive. But America slowly began rebuilding. Roads expanded, farms grew larger, businesses developed. The government created a constitution designed to unite the states. Immigration increased rapidly. Millions of people from Europe came searching for freedom, jobs, and a better future. America became a land of opportunity for many, though not for everyone. The country still struggled with inequality, conflict, and slavery. But despite its problems, the nation continued growing. During the 19th century, America transformed rapidly. Factories appeared across cities. Railroads connected distant regions. New inventions changed everyday life. Industrialization turned America into an economic powerhouse. Cities expanded at incredible speed. New York, Chicago, and other urban centers became symbols of ambition and progress. The country that once struggled to survive as scattered colonies was now becoming a major world power. Innovation, business, and expansion fueled America's rise. But the nation never completely escaped the hardships of its early history. The spirit of struggle and survival remained part of its identity. America's story is not simply a story of success. It is a story of endurance, a story shaped by explorers, settlers, revolutionaries, workers, immigrants, and dreamers. From dangerous colonies on the edge of survival to one of the most influential nations on Earth. America's rise changed world history forever, and it all began with humble beginnings. Every great nation begins with struggle. Every empire begins with a dream, and every future is built by those willing to survive the impossible.